Hi, my name's John Wright. A lot of times when I sleep, I wake up right out of a dead sleep and I'm thinking about something that the Lord's directed me to, or the Holy Father's directed me to, I should say, because I am the Lord. I've seen devastation and destruction around me. And I want to take you to Luke 8:22-25. And it says that the winds and the waves will obey him, the Lord. Well, I'm telling you, there was a hurricane that hit Florida and it's obeying me. There's a weather pattern right here that apparently it is obeying me. Years ago down in Walmart when I was being harassed, I said the wrath of God will be poured out right over there where Wendy's was next to Walmart, because I went over there. I had a conflict with them over poor food. They served me absolutely poor goddamn food like it was a fucking joke. And I got so goddamn pissed off I wouldn't go down to Wendy's. I called them up at like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning when I picked up my food, because I picked up my Wendy's food there. They fucking angered me so goddamn bad. I said, I won't even bring down the food tonight. I'm telling you, you guys did a goddamn fucking disservice. A Wendy's restaurant did that with fucking goddamn employees. And I'll tell you, I haven't been back to Wendy's. I think I've been to Wendy's maybe once or twice, but I never felt good about going back to Wendy's ever again. And next thing I knew, the cops come to my house and started goddamn harassing me about fucking Wendy's. Going over there, you can't go back to Wendy's again. Just like over here at this goddamn fucking park over here, down here at Camas. You can't go down here to this place. You can't go over here. Guess what? The fucking windstorm here happens here too, goddamn you. You understand? And by the way, Florida got fucking nailed because of the way that they're treating me. By the way that they're treating the Holy Father. The way they're treating the fucking people of the earth and disrespect the Holy Father. And all these little big bitches, these little red rascals, their days are numbered because the Holy Father is upon them. And by the way, like Marjorie Green Taylor said, the government thinks that they run the weather and stuff. Well, I am for my government that's in the office right now. Joe Biden is my fucking president as far as I'm concerned. The Holy Father has his hands on little Joseph. Like Joseph that's been sold into slavery by his family. Just like I had been. And now the way that I see the wrath of the world is now at the hands of the good people of the world, because the devil's been destroyed. Donald Trump's the Antichrist. And if you don't fucking obey, the weather will obey the Lord. It's bad that harsh things will happen. The Holy Father will have his way. And even over there in Iran and those other nations, you remember the sandstorms that came up when Jimmy Carter tried to do something? When he tried to go in there to Iran and do something? I don't know how my mixed feelings was back at the time. Well, he never did a good job by then because all the things failed. They wasn't ready to go into something like that. Well, I'll tell you what. Those sandstorms and stuff can come up and fucking just annihilate these people and fucking make them so they can't even goddamn move, like snow built up on their homes. I could just imagine that all the seashores and stuff and the tsunamis and stuff that I witnessed them triggered off and stuff. I actually witnessed the tsunami that went through Japan and just ate up land on TV, and I was just like, oh, I've seen the Walmart go, and it's just a fact. It's just the fact. Yeah, and I didn't know I was the Lord. The winds and the waves will obey him, it says, and it says Jesus. But I will say it was why. It was Yahweh HaMessiah. Now, Jesus may, translate down from the Lord, but really it's a poor excuse for a poor name that I find barely acceptable. Because have you all been deceived in essence? I'll tell you, it just doesn't seem right to me. Yahweh HaMessiah, Yahshua, Yahweh, Messiah. It started with a Y, it didn't start with a J. You know, I don't know what to tell you. I have a bad feeling when I see this Jesus, Sleezus, Sneezes. Because in the name of Sneezes, we'll do it. No, in the name of Yahweh HaMessiah, the real Lord's name. You see, I talked to even Jehovah Witnesses that was down here. You know, whether it's the park issue or it's the Jesus and the Yahweh HaMessiah, that's not really the issue, it says. And for me, it is the goddamn issue. So if you don't respect the Holy Father, you don't please me. And if you don't please me, you won't please the Holy Father. And by the way, the events that happened in Florida was tit for tat. You go back, look at the Ten Commandments, and you're going to go, wow, look what happened. We triggered these events that happened around the world. And now and God was working to me on global warming today. You don't think that global warming is reversible? That's because you have little or no lack in faith. You know, if you did better, you'd do better. And I'll just drop it at that. I don't have much time for you guys because God's patience runs really thin. I love you more than the Holy Father does in essence. I am the rock between the Holy Father and you. You know, if the God Almighty's here in heaven and I'm right here, then I get goddamn you guys down here. And you guys are all... There's a lot of people talking goddamn trash that can't write a fucking check. You know, they can't back up what they're saying. Like Donald Trump. Donald Trump's just to cause trouble and stuff. Donald Trump's the Antichrist. And you guys need to wake up and look right through it. And remember, Luke 8:22-25. The winds and the waves will obey him. Jesus. Well, I'm a little fucking angry now, ain't I? Now, if he's obeying me, and I say, you know, I see how, you know, that it could be translated into that, but there was no J 2,000 years ago, so there wasn't, you know, the J wasn't there, it was Y, the way that they spelt it. So the scholars out there, they could do whatever they want to do, and they could say, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But I guarantee you, the events will continue to happen, especially if there's ill feelings towards me. I'm telling you, every action has equal opposite reaction. And if you laugh at me, beware. Your next move can be your very last move. Just like I told you guys, Ernie up in Lewis County, or Thurston County. Lewis County and Thurston County is right next door to each other. I have families in both areas. The D.B. Cooper money was taken there. And my dad was a Zodiac killer. Isn't that killer? You know, you can't blame me for the deaths around the world, but I can blame you guys for the deaths around the world. Why? Lack of participation in the Holy Father. Get into the Word of the King James Version of the Bible today. If you did better, if you knew better, you'd do better. And for all those people that have never read a Bible, that comes to me and they say they're so goddamn religion, how dare you? How dare you, like my sister Bonnie, all the crap that these people have pulled. You never even read the Bible. And you think you can argue with me? May the rain pour right down the fucking roofs of your houses for anybody that goes against the Holy Father, because if you've gone against the Holy Father, you've gone against me, and if you've gone against me, you've gone against the Holy Father, and let it be. The winds and the waves shall obey thy will, the peace, thy still weather, the wrath of the storm-tossed sea, or demons or men who, whatever it be, no water can swallow the ships where they lies, the master of the ocean, and earth and the skies, they shall sweetly obey thy will. Peace, peace, be still. Now I'm calling on you guys for peace in your hearts, and what you do is you dismember Donald Trump in your life, because he is the yin and the yang. He's the Antichrist, I am the Lord, and like I said, I'm pretty much through telling you, you better beware what's happened. I'm sitting right here. I'm not in harm's way. I haven't been talking to people. As a matter of fact, I don't really like talking to people that stir me up. So if anybody stirs me up, they better goddamn beware. If you've gone out of your way to do such a thing, the wrath will be upon you. Like the kiss of death is on your door, your family's door, and your family's door. And have a nice and wonderful day. I love you more than the Holy Father, and I'm just telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. And may it be God's will and not my will. May it be God's will and not my will for what's happening. And Iran and Lebanon and whomever's behind it, God's enemies will be ashes under his feet. And Marjorie Green, what are you? You know, you think the government controls the weather, baby? No, Marjorie, I do. I've even heard people say that, like Steve Duell. John here thinks he controls the weather. Well, I haven't seen Mr. Duell. You know, since things happened, Mr. Duell's faith could be Marjorie Green's. She just disappears. So anyway, you guys have a nice day. You guys have a nice day. God works in mysterious ways. Beware.